Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to the Spiritual Roundtable right here at Star Nations Organization's main fan page on Facebook. Yep. And today is Monday, July 15th. Can you believe that? We're halfway through the month. And today, I believe partial lunar eclipse. We're really racking up the cosmic activity, aren't we? That's for sure. So welcome everybody. Now, one of the things that I would like to do before we get started is to actually get my phone, and find our broadcast, our live stream, and I want to send it over to my news feed. Because if I don't do it right away when I think about it, if I wait, you know what happens is I forget. I started on the conversation and I forget. So I'm going to do that right now. And I would invite you to also send the live stream over to your timeline or to a friend or something like that. Just even to one person is really good. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remind my friends that I'm live streaming. Okay, here we go. You see George go across? We had a fun weekend with him this past weekend. And I'm just going to let my friends know that I'm live streaming right now and to please join us. There we go. And did you know that Facebook added new emoticons? Not Facebook, I'm sorry, Apple. And there we go. There. It didn't take long. I think I'll leave the rest of the spreading of the live stream over to Stephanie. I gotta fix my chair. Now that George moved, I can fix my chair. He was laying in the way, and I didn't want to move him because he looked so comfortable. Okay, so this past weekend, Saturday, right? Yeah, it was Saturday. Was George's first birthday. Yes, he's 1 year old, and we did a little celebration. We got him some fancy kibble. And the thing is that, he doesn't get people food. And so it's kind of, I didn't want to do the cake thing because he's never had that stuff. And I didn't want to upset his digestive tract that much. And so, we just played a lot and did all kinds of stuff with him on Saturday and Sunday. Extra stuff, a little extra fetching and that sort of thing. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to check to see who's in the chat room. Let's see. I see Stephanie's here. She posted a whole bunch of stuff for us. Okay. Hey, Rochelle's here. Hello, Rochelle. She says, hello, Rochelle, Devin me, grounded. Yay. Thank you. Oh, George. Nope, you got to stay inside with me, babe. Okay. Hey, and Rob is here too. Hello, Rob. Good to have you here. Julie's here too. Hello, Julie. Good to have you guys in the house. I'm using one of the BeLive's different templates, and so I think I like this one. The crawler, I'm going to change it a little bit so it's not moving across the screen. I like this one better because it's not as intrusive. It's not as big and going across practically the whole lower third of the screen. I like it. I think we're going to keep that one. And I actually like the crawler better because it's thinner. It's a thinner ribbon going along the bottom, right? Yeah. I'm getting used to the new studio. We won't talk about how many mistakes I made, all that trial and error, even with the tutorials. But that's me. I like to see how it works and what we can use it for Star Nations and that sort of thing. So, there's one other thing I was going to show here. I was going to put my name up. Here we go. See, I like that. I do. It doesn't take up the whole bottom of the screen. Alrighty, today's Monday, and the card draw that we have. Yeah, I was just going to ask another question. I'm trying out a new microphone, and so I'm thinking you guys can hear me because you haven't said no sound. So if you could just let me know, if you could put in the chat and the comments, I can hear you. Yep, you got sound or something like that. George, come over here, please. Good boy. Come on, we're going to need to work. That's what you promised to do, right? Yeah. Okay, lay down, baby. Okay, lay down. Good boy. All right, so I was going to show you what he looks like. Let's see. No, too late. You got to move fast with that little guy. Got to move fast with him. All right. Scroll all the way down. I don't want to miss George grounded. Yes, he is. That was Rob. Yep. George is grounded. All four paws. One of the other things that we're dealing with is mosquitoes. I don't know what it's like by you guys, but man, there's a lot of them. And boy, are they big! So we've been dealing with that. Seems like every time we open the door, a whole bunch of them fly in. Oh, good. Thank you, Stephanie. She says sound is good. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Loud and clear, Rochelle says. That's good to know. I got sound, Julie says. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, I bought a different microphone, so I thought I'd try it out today. I haven't had a chance to really play with it. It's doing all kinds of other stuff. So today's cards are all ones that we've had before, but not necessarily in this particular order. So let's see what Spirit has to say, okay? So the first one is South. Chardonnay. That is, if it's an Algonquin kind of pronunciation. Chardonnay means the South, the southern part of the medicine wheel, which is where in July is located on the wheel. So we're in the South. It's about lessons, growth, and trust, and it's the 11th stone in the creation of the medicine wheel that the author uses. And so, 11, right, is a master number. It's a master number. And it's about mastery of the physical world, right? Mastery of the planet that we decided to incarnate on, the physical world. So, it's a lucky number if you believe in luck. It is, a lucky number, but it's also it can be a very challenging number because we're mastering our physical world. And when we do that, that means that we have a whole bunch of life lessons that we have to get through in order to get to the mastery part of it, right? And so, yeah. I can only imagine if you have a birth number of 11, you know exactly what I mean. Okay, so here, take a look at the artistry here. There is a Chinupa Wakan, a sacred pipe right here, right? And it's got eagle feathers on it, wrapped in fur. And it's got smoke coming out of it, so that means it has tobacco. Also, let's see, west of the Mississippi, what they use in their pipes is called conchacha. It's not necessarily tobacco as we know it. It's actually willow bark. Okay. And so they don't inhale that. They just hold it in their mouth and they blow it out. But doesn't it look like, the animals, which we'll call power animals or totems, that their essence is coming out of the pipe, out of the smoke. So we've got the big cat and we've got the wolf. You can see them down here in the corners, how they have, the illustrator has them depicted. The wolf howling at the moon. It's a good one for today, that's for sure. Yeah. And look, you got the cat is a light color and the wolf is a darker color, right? And here we are on this planet. It's a planet of duality. So we learn how to bring those two aspects of seemingly opposing or opposites together, right? Learning how to do that, remembering how to do that. So it's about lessons, growth, and trust. Lessons, growth, and trust. Yeah. Now, it seems to me that both the wolf and the big cat, the cougar, lion, that's not a lion, it's a panther, right? That they're looking right at us. Direct eye contact. So that's the first card for today. Oops, just dropped one. Okay, let's see what the author has to say about this one. And this is just a reminder because we've gotten this card, I think, maybe 2 or 3 times in the last month and a half. Okay. All right, so this is what she has to say. She says, you have reached a significant stage in your own growth. Inner transformation occurs because you have outgrown the parts of yourself that are no longer serving your higher good. You're discovering the power of the self. The self represents the emotional maturity derived from life's lessons. Facing your fears is never an easy task, but it's now within your power to control fear. Be gentle with yourself and feel good about where you are. Learn to trust in the divine plan. In time, when you look back on a difficult experience, you'll understand the importance of the lesson learned. And that we call wisdom, right? So Spirit's really telling us that, you know, we've done a whole lot of work, right? And we've come a really long way. And we have faced some of our fears, if not all of them, right? In some way. But the ones that we faced and that we have resolved and healed the trauma around them, released all of that. And in learning that life lesson, through that experience, we gain that wisdom. And in the South, because we're right in July, it's at the very, very bottom part of the wheel. It's about the full sun, right? And we talked about this yesterday, about the illumination, direct illumination, that our shadow self can't hide. It's illuminated. And so we get to see exactly what that is so that we can actually resolve it, or at least acknowledge its presence. And once we acknowledge its presence, that means that we're on the path to be able to reach some sort of resolution with it and to heal from it, right? Yeah. And so that's where the lessons and the growth come in. And the trust is all about trusting ourselves, our intuition, trusting the Creator and in the divine plan. The divine plan. And what's the divine plan? That's your soul contract. That's what you agreed to do. That's what you agreed to before you even got here. right? And so trusting. Some might even say faith. That you have faith in that the Creator blessed it for us to be here. Right? Yeah. So that growth. Now, what I like about this card is that it feels more like a validation than, bringing something brand new in. This is a validation about all the work that you've already put in. It says you've reached a significant stage in your own growth. A significant stage. So what does that mean to you, right? Does that mean that because you faced your fears and did some healing work around it and releasing it, that maybe other things that were also being the debris or the blocks were removed or moved along at the same time, right? Kind of like dominoes, right? If you ever played dominoes, or if you ever used them to create the patterns, and you knock one over and they all start to fall down, right? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. If you face a really large fear, it could be that there was many smaller ones that were attached to it that were also resolved and released. Rob said you make eye contact with a predator, you're best communicate at least equality. Yeah, that's true, especially an apex predator, right? Direct eye contact. Yeah, some of them see it as a challenge. There's because humans are an apex predator. Oh. Says something, doesn't it? Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the Chinuba, the sacred pipe. So the bowl where the Kinshasa is put is the female part of the pipe, and the stem is the masculine part. Right? And when the pipe bowl is filled with the Kinshasa, it's filled with intention. It's filled with a prayer. And that we're giving tobacco or Kinshasa to all of the universe, the entire universe, the planets, the stars, the sun, the moon, right? All the bodies of water, everything. And so when the pipe is lit and your prayer is going up with the smoke, that means that we're asking the entire universe to come to our aid. That's no small thing. And so that's why it's done with such great intention and respect, right? And that we're, especially if you're working on something, if you had been working on a challenge, on a fear, and you walk through it, a lot of times that's a good time to be grateful, right? And you can also use the sacred pipe for gratitude. Being grateful to the universe for assisting you. Right? Gratitude. Yeah. Rob is saying polar bears will argue with that. Yeah, they might. They just might. Poor things. Some of those pictures that they show about the polar bears is so heartbreaking, isn't it? That, and how their habitat is being taken away, literally taken away. So here is the prayer. This author has a prayer for each of the cards. And this is what she has to say. She says, Spirit of power of the South, teach me to love and grow through the gentle fires of compassion. Help me to learn to trust in Great Spirit's plan and to view life's lessons with the understanding that my mind, heart, and spirit are one. Right? And at the beginning, we were talking about being here on earth, this school of duality, that we're remembering, learning how to bring those seemingly opposite things together. And it's all about mastery, learning our life lessons and growing. Right? So keep this one in mind. This was the first card. And the second card, oh, here we go again. There's the wolf again. Earth, renewal, moon. It's a 16th stone in the creation of the medicine wheel. That's a 7. It's all about spirit. It's about greater responsibility, inner knowing, and teaching. And I like that they have the stars, not just over the wolf, but within the wolf, and that he's looking through the full moon at us. Wolf. And I was going to say, if you want to look down at the bottom, the corners, the author, or the illustrator, it looks like a headdress of something, and it's got images in each one of those rectangles, and feathers, or it looks like feathers anyway. Isn't that interesting? Wolf. That's a lot of canine this morning, isn't it? We had the wolf in the first card with the mountain lion, and now we have the wolf by itself in Earth Renewal Moon. In the Earth Renewal Moon, the dates are December 22nd to January 19th. So it might be considered Capricorn, right? So the author says that the life is a continual learning process, and there'll be times when we move from the role of student to the role of teacher. You have recently mastered some area of your life, having triumphed over opposition. Now is the time for you to share your newfound wisdom. The hardest part of being a teacher is to offer your wisdom, then stand back without judging and allow the students to follow their own path. And I have to say, as a teacher, a spiritual teacher, those moments where you can see it in the students' eyes, that they're having an aha moment, or that light bulb went on, right? And they have this realization. And to watch them as they take it in, that is a really sacred moment for me. When I get to be possibly a catalyst for that, and to also it's an honor to be there with them, to witness it, their aha moment, the moment where some of the pieces fall into place, right? That's a special moment. And for me, a lot of times it's in that moment that very similar to when we strike a match, to light a sacred fire or to light a candle, right? All the power, all of the intention, you have to have your intention set before you strike the match. Because as soon as you create the fire, that's a very potent time. And so you really want to have your intention in place, right? To me, that's a lot like when a student gathers that information from a teacher and they have their aha moment. It's like striking the match, right? It's that powerful. And so as a teacher, to be able to be present in that moment and to watch it happen. And then the following days after a class, up to a month or more, um, depending on how big the moment was and how much healing that came with it, the integration time. And so as a teacher, to be there available to the student to answer questions or even just to cheer them on, because the integration time is really more of a quiet time and taking it all in, so then you can start applying your newfound wisdom to your everyday life, right? So being a teacher, I think it's highly gratifying, it really is. But it's true that we have to be able to impart what we're supposed to share and then stand back and watch the students take it in and whatever they're going to do with it. Rob said, some of us are dim light bulb. Rob finally figured something out. Oh my gosh. Not really. Well, Tamara, hello from Croatia. It's good to have you here with us. It's good to have you here. And so this is the second card, supporting the first one, right? It's about that greater responsibility, inner knowing, and teaching. So basically, Spirit is asking us to take our newly acquired wisdom from something, an aspect of our life lesson that we just learned, right? That wisdom that we gained from it, and that we share it with others. The world is a big place, so pace yourself and do not take on more responsibilities than you can handle. Keep an open heart and be compassionate towards others, and everything else will unfold in a positive light. Yeah. Yeah, and the author writes that those that are born under this moon, and that's December 22nd to January 19th, we would call that the Capricorn, right? That those that are born under this moon tend to be old souls and carry an inner knowing about things. They can't we can't hide the truth from them, as she says. I don't know. I have a brother who's a Capricorn. An old soul? I don't know about that. Maybe. All right, and here's the prayer that goes with this card. She says, Great Spirit, guide me to teach others with an open heart. Help me have the compassion and integrity to offer my wisdom and support in a gentle, loving way. So these first two cards are all about taking that wisdom that we've learned and sharing it with others. There's those of us that are specifically spiritual teachers, that we actually hold classes. But I think that we're all teachers, right? That just the way you live your life, you don't even have to say anything. You just have to be who you are. And you become a role model for other people. Why? Because your words and your behavior match. And that's called integrity. Right? And so that's all you have to do. And other people will notice and take heed of how you're living your life. And they may even ask you questions about it. Right? And so then they're open. They're open to learning something that you might be able to offer to them and have a nice conversation about it. and let them draw whatever they need from that conversation in that information that you're sharing that's meant for them, because they'll be able to feel it. It will resonate. Portions of it will resonate with them. Hey, Marie's here too. Hello, Marie. Good to have you here. This hot afternoon. It's 88 degrees out there in Wisconsin. It's a bit warm. It's a bit warm. So we have one more card. And that is one that we've had before. And I have to say that it's a very pretty card. Butterfly Clan. Do you remember this one? Those that have been with the show for a while. Butterfly Clan. It's about mental clarity, awakening, and beauty. It's the 8th stone in the creation of the medicine wheel that the author uses. And number 8 is about the sign of infinity, the balance of giving and receiving, right? The balance of duality. Yeah, there's that butterfly. And in the corners, right? Let's see if we can get my camera to focus. Focus. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, it's in the bright circle, isn't it? And that circle kind of reminds me of the flower of life circle, the outer rings. And that butterfly happens to be flying and following a river, flying over water. Emotions, right? But you also have the stone people there and the tree people. And that's about earth. And so there again, we have balance, right? Pretty fun. Rob is saying, love is like a butterfly, as soft and easy as a sigh. All right, so what lyric is that? From what song? Okay, so here is what the author has to say about this particular card. She says, the Butterfly Clan card represents an awakening or breaking free of some restriction within your life. You have recently gone through a difficult period, but now you emerge from the cocoon, leaving the darkness behind you. On a soul level, you have chosen to follow beauty, just as the butterfly is drawn to a flower. What an incredible transformation you have made. Be proud of yourself for having the courage to take the flight. Your senses and aesthetics are heightened as you fly toward the light. Beauty will be found in places you never imagined as the gentle patterns of life unfold around you. Now, the Butterfly Clan can draw you away from confusion and uncertainty and lead you toward mental clarity. With clear insight and peace of mind, you can now take flight with exalted joy. To recognize beauty around us, we must first recognize the beauty that lies within. This awakening is a butterfly's gift to you. Isn't that nice? So Spirit is talking about all of the work that we've already done for ourselves, right? Many of us have been researching our ancestors to find out more information. Some of us have been connecting with those ancestors in meditation. Many of us have been doing our healing work, facing our fears, right? And many of us have been learning how to use our voices. It's part of the growth. Right? Yeah. So in it almost feels like a culmination, doesn't it? A culmination of what you've been working on and going through that whole thing to learn your life lesson so that you can come out with that wisdom that you were meant to gain from it, your soul growth. And that we have the ability, the chance to share that with others, with our community. And when we do that, when we're awakening and we choose to follow the path of beauty. And some people call that the middle path. The path that is a balance. The path of Seshat. Who's Seshat? Ah, thank you, Rob. Those lyrics are by Dolly Parton. It's nice. So who's Seshat? Seshat is a Egyptian goddess. She's an Egyptian goddess. She is actually the wife of Thoth. And she is the one who brought writing to the humans. And she is known as the scribe and also as the lady of the library. And how do I know this? It's because she's one of my highest teachers. She's helped me quite a bit. And so when they talk about balance and beauty, that's what she stands for. That's how she travels in that path. It's a balance between our head and our heart. All right, so I'm going to show all of these together, these cards together. And one of the things that we've learned here is that to be able to take in all of the information that's meant for you is that to take a deep breath in and then look at the cards, asking your spiritual team to help you bring in as all the information that's meant for you at an optimal level, okay? And both the seen and unseen. Okay, so here we go. You can take that big deep breath in, and on the exhale, taking in the information from the cards. Right? In its entirety. So we started in the south. In the south. Trying to see around my hands here. About life lessons, those lessons in the growth and the trust. With both the wolf and the big cat. That we've achieved something in our growth. Right? And here, with the Earth Renewal moon, yeah, we've gotten a little bit more responsibility because of the information that we've gained, the inner knowing, that wisdom, and then sharing it with others. And when we do that, then we get to have some clarity about our life path. You might say that we become even more awake. And that we follow the path of beauty. As we take that life lesson, that wisdom from that life lesson to our community in the north. You know, and these two cards, oops, the first two, this one and this one, is all about the southern energy. on the medicine wheel. And our walk from south to north on the medicine wheel is the red road. Some call it the good red road. And when we do that walk on the red road, that means we're taking all of our wisdom that we've gained from our life lessons and we're taking it back to our community to be of service. That's what that means. And so we're walking in a good way. So I don't know about you guys, but I get the feeling that in the last couple of days of the card draws, that Spirit is really letting us know that we have accomplished a great deal. Illumination has been a word used quite a bit, right? That many of us have faced those shadow aspects of ourselves to learn the life lesson from them, and so that we can heal whatever trauma might be going with them, and also to release them, so that we make room, energetic room, for the wisdom that we gain. Right? Yeah. Let's see. Rob is saying the things left out of the popular thought when we are finally delivered from Egypt is that we must then cross the desert. That's something's going to be going on tonight in the Tarot journey. That's what Julie's talking about tonight. He's saying that I'm not sure if there's a connection between the golden calf and the horse with no name. Gee, there could be. There could be. There's some similarities to that, isn't there? I haven't heard that song in a long time. Horse with no name. Hey, Megan's here too. Hello, Megan. How you doing today, Megan? It's good to have you here. So these three cards, Spirit keeps repeating themselves in different ways, the different combinations of the same cards, right? The same 3 or 4 cards that keep coming up in different combinations. That Spirit is really, really telling us that you've accomplished something really, really great. That you've done a lot of work. And it's showing. And it's showing. And so, it reminds me of those little raccoons in what moon was that? I forget. It was about social invitations, right? Yeah. Is to celebrate. Is to celebrate your accomplishments, that you have worked really, really hard, that you've healed quite a bit already, right? And in the moment is to celebrate that. To celebrate that. You don't necessarily have to go back and revisit it necessarily, but you can bring it into the present, and not be stretching so far into the future as you're thinking about what are the next steps, what's my next experience, right? Because we're ever growing. The lessons never stop until we do. Not until we do. Yeah. Maria is saying, released something I never wanted to a few days ago and kept seeing smoke that shouldn't have been there. I like to think it was a confirmation. Was it smoke, or was it kind of like a foggy, kind of like, like a cloud, a foggy, thin cloud? Or was it actually smoke? Did you feel like it was really smoke? The reason why I'm asking is because lots of times when the smoke is present, it is Spirit letting us know that they received the energy exchange that you did, right? Because that's what tobacco is. the sacred use of tobacco, not the cigarettes that have all the tar and nicotine in them, right? And other things. But it's the tobacco that is a sacred herb. And in spirit, they have no way of enjoying that sacred herb. And so when we light the pipes, when we give the tobacco, um, that's the highest form of energy exchange that you can do, because you're literally feeding the spirit a very high vibrational gift. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? And Marie, oops, I'm sorry, Marie. Looked like a lingering cigarette smoke circle. Oh, really? Okay. Well, it certainly was validation, wasn't it? Yeah. So you released something I never wanted to a few days ago. So in the release, a lot of times what that is, especially when we're resisting, because when you say that you never wanted to, that's resistance, right? Is that when we finally let go of the resistance and we get into the flow of it, rather than trying to swim against it, right, in that resistance. Yeah, is to let it go. That release. It's also called surrender. It's also called surrendering. I was looking for the moon that had the raccoons. I know it wasn't the frogs. I know it wasn't strong sun moon. That's it, strong sun moon, which is in the moon that we're in right now. Strong sun moon was about social invitations, creative pursuits, and joy, and that we're being asked to also to celebrate our accomplishments. That we've come a really long way, and we really have. I know that we have miles to go, but right now is just to take the time to be grateful. And to celebrate the accomplishments, right? Yeah. We need to throw a big party. Maybe a potluck. Wouldn't that be fun? That would be fun. Megan is saying, um, 11:9. Okay, this makes sense of the life and the lessons. Loving days card and yesterday's rainbow eagle sun. Yeah. Deepening of understanding with lessons and mastery. Right. That we have learned the lesson, that we've gained the wisdom, and now we get to share it with our community in whatever way that feels good to you. Whether you are a spiritual teacher and you're going to teach about your experience, or if you are just, quietly living your life and allowing yourself to apply that wisdom just to your everyday life. That's huge. Yes, Rob, partay. It would be great if we could do that, is to have a party to celebrate our accomplishments. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to, did I read the poem? I don't think I read the poem for the butterfly. Here's the poem for the butterfly. Great Spirit, guide me to teach others with an open heart. Help me have the compassion and integrity to offer my wisdom and support in a gentle, loving way. Right? Compassion and joy. And the other thing that happens when we acknowledge our accomplishment, is that our soul growth, that illumination, right, happens from the inside out. And that's when we literally glow. That many people who can see auras and healing light and that sort of thing, they can literally see you're glowing. Why? Is because you're living your soul contract. You're living the life that you were meant to live. Even in the small doses that we're gaining, right? And that our vibration, and each time we have these accomplishments, we're closer and closer to our original frequency, our original song, our unique vibration in the universe. Yeah, which is all a good thing. And Megan gave a heart. Thank you, Megan. Yeah, me too. Me too. So I would like to ask a question to the audience. Have you accomplished something recently in the last, few months, okay, that you felt changed the flow of your life for the better, right? Something that you thought, if I could just only heal this or that, and that you were really consciously working toward healing whatever that was. And so that when you sit back today and you think, yeah, I did it. I did it, Because it's, even if you just say it to yourself, that's big. It's big to acknowledge it. Because, our lives, we live our lives so quickly, right? That many times we don't slow down enough to be grateful for where we're at right now, and to acknowledge our well-found wisdom. Don't you think? Yeah. I don't know. In my own life, I would like to say yes. Yes. I mean, 2017 was horrific. 2018 was all about integration. 2019, I can really sense and see and actually ground into the earth plane. The wisdom that I've gained from all of that, I can actually see playing out in my physical life, which, like, yay! You just, you can hardly contain those moments of joy. I had that twice this past weekend. Okay, 3 times. George's birthday, you can hardly not smile about that. But just meeting with the executive team, and having the discussion that we had, and watching and seeing how things are starting to unfold. It's like, I can't tell you how much joy there is in that, and that many of you will be experiencing the effects of that, because as much as I wanted to have a social day here, I wanted to have like tea time here this month, where those who are in drivable distance could come and literally meet each other, right, in the Star Nations community, and get to know each other. I really wanted to do that. I just don't have the time to fit it in. And the reason being is, technical issues, wrestling with Apple developer stuff. But more importantly, we're working on launching the online classes, and pulling all of those bits and pieces and details together, so that we can actually start offering those classes through online. And so eventually you'll be seeing the promotions for that, and I'm hoping that you'll take advantage of that new offering. So I'm very happy about it. Yay, the next piece for us. Rob is saying, no, nothing. I don't, after our conversation, I don't know about that one, Rob. And Megan saying, I love this, I need to receive. Thank you for being the voice for this message. It's good. It's a good one. All right. So I'm looking at the time. We just got a couple minutes left. I wanted to share with you that, we have a whole lot of things going on for you this week. Starting tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, that's 8 Eastern, is the Tarot Journey with Julie Hedges. And you have to note that there's a new start time, right? There's a new start time for Julie's show. We moved her show up an hour, and so she's starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And the title of her show is Working on My Tan in the Middle of the Desert. And she's saying, congratulations, you've graduated from that relationship or place that doesn't serve you now, but the path to the new goes right through the desert. Are you willing to follow that path to your soul's gift? So, yeah, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be pretty deep, I think. That's at 8 p.m. tonight, Monday. And then tomorrow at noon is Chakra Sessions with Polly Jo LeBay. And she's going to be talking about managing the ascension in relationships. That's tomorrow, Tuesday, July 16th at noon Eastern Time. And that's all about how we communicate while we're going through the ascension process, right? And with Mercury going retrograde, that's another layer in there. And so she's sharing about that, and she also usually does a meditation towards the end of the show. So that's tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, Tuesday night, is my weekly evening show, Communications from Home. And we're going to be sharing about the highlights and backstories to the Star Nations magazine July issue. Yeah, it's always so much fun doing a magazine production when you're going through eclipse energy and upcoming retrograde energy. And yeah, it's got some good stories to it. And I'm hoping you're going to join me for that, because we have a lot of good articles in this issue. All right, so that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have a replay of a show for Nature Adventures. I'm a co-host for that show with my good friend and sister, Minnie Kansman. We're going to do a replay of our show called Restorative Practices, and it's all about how we connect or reconnect to the natural world. Yeah, and I think that it's very helpful as we talk about being grounded, right? It's really helpful. And we're doing a replay because Minnie moved to Colorado, and she's still in the midst of getting settled in and doing all of that. So look for us doing our return live stream probably in September or October. All right, so, and then Thursday, we have, if we're right by it, Spiritual Mysteries of Life with Constance Shearwater, Connie. She's one of our elders here at Star Nations. Her show is usually on the first Thursday of every month, but that was 4th of July. And so she wanted to reschedule her show to this Thursday, July 18th. And Connie always talks about enlightened discussions, and she shares a lot about the spiritual mysteries and how we have it happening every single day. And she may even channel. We never know how that's going to roll out, but it's a possibility that she will. Okay? And of course, we have Spiritual Roundtable Sunday through Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Phew, that's a lot. That's a lot. And so I hope you can join us for some of those. It'd be nice to see you in the chats. Let's see. Uh, get caught up in the chat room before we sign off. Jen saying, yes, Spirit forced change on me to follow my true path. Literally had me paralyzed. I will never return to mining physically. Once I let go of the fear of future, the paralysis subsided like a huge burden lifted. Oh, well, good for you, Jen. Letting go of the burden, right? The burden. And embracing the change. Good for you. Thank you for sharing that. And Rob says, I was being sarcastic. Neshi knows better. But my entire life has been a grappling match for a long time. Yeah. And I think that you've really made some shifts, a huge one. I do. And Megan said, but indeed, sometimes we need to simplify and to simply receive. Sometimes we need to simply receive. That's true. It really is true. Um, and that's talking about being open, right, Megan? It's that being open and allowing ourselves to receive. That's true. And Rob says Julie was talking about that, but so is my rabbi. Yes. Yep. And I just find that the coincidence, Rob, the coincidence that I don't believe in coincidences. I think that there's synchronicities and spirit is bringing together um, those kinds of information, dovetailing them together. Right? Yeah. So with that, please enjoy the rest of your Monday, and hopefully we'll see you back here this evening for the Tarot Journey at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. So Baba Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Love you guys.